Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good vibe. Welcome to this episode of Chill Art, creative mindful tools to help you chill out. This program is a go-to for when you need to calm the anxious, overstimulated mind. It's stress reduction with an arty twist. In this episode, certified yoga instructor Kellyanne Reagan will be teaching us about Pranayama Breathwork and guiding us through a 3-part breathing session to help us calm our anxiety and feel more centered. Following, we will be coloring our exhale. It's a simple abstract drawing created to bring happy feelings and beauty into our world. No artistic ability is required. So, let's begin.
Hi, my name is Kelly Reagan. I am a certified yoga instructor through Yoga University, Florida. I have invested a lot of time into my craft. I really enjoy teaching yin yoga is my favorite style of yoga to teach because yin yoga is very soothing for the body. And it's not like the yoga that most of us think about when we think of yoga studios and mats and yoga pants and our typical yoga environment here in the United States. Yoga is often very active and is seen as a fitness journey. However, there are aspects of yoga which we do not focus on as intently, which are extremely, if not more beneficial than the postures themselves. So in yin yoga, we hold the poses and then we can place emphasis on the breathing and on mindfulness and a physical awareness and awareness of where we are and what we're doing and why we're doing it. The breath is really the key to all of the yoga practice. In fact, yoga postures are designed primarily so that we can sit in meditation for long periods of time. That was at least the initial purpose of these poses. And the reason we sit in meditation is so that we can build our awareness. So the breath plays an extremely key part in this process. Your breath and the pace of your breath is directly linked to your nervous system. As you breathe, it can help you to regulate or deregulate your nervous system. If you breathe long, slow, steady breaths, you will activate your vagus nerve. And your vagus nerve has a massive role in your relaxation response. So just like we have the well-known fight or flight response of the body, we also have a more soothing response where the breath slows, the heart rate slows. And it's basically the opposite of fight or flight. It brings us into a very calm and aware state of mind. And that's really what we want to achieve with our yoga practice. And so the breath work, which we call pranayama in the yoga tradition, all breath work is called pranayama, and prana is energy. So basically it's the movement of energy using the breath as the vehicle for the energy. In pranayama, there are many practices. Today, I'm going to share one of the most simple breath practices that I have ever encountered. It is a breath practice that I teach the majority of my students right when they start taking classes with me. It's very important because it builds your awareness of your lungs and of your breathing process. And there are many breath techniques that can get very complicated with counting and different hand positions and different ways to hold the breath, or there are breath techniques where we count the inhale to a certain amount of count, and then we count the exhale to be longer or shorter, depending on what we want to achieve. There are breath techniques where we cool the body down, or inversely, heat the body up. And so before you begin to really dive into all of these different breath techniques and find the ones that really work for you, I definitely recommend you work on the 3-part breath, Dirghaswasam, which is what we call it in the yoga tradition. It's so simple. It's like inhaling and exhaling. That's pretty much all it is. Why is it in 3 parts? Think of the lung as being divided into 3 parts. So you have the bottom of the lung, the mid lung, and the upper lung. So we just want to systematically fill the lung while mentally bringing awareness to the process so that we can really kickstart the activation of the vagus nerve and of that relaxation response. And we can gain all these great physiological benefits from our breath practice, like increased concentration, a feeling of overwhelming peace and calm. We can actually affect our heart rhythm and regulate our heartbeat by using the breath to soothe the nervous system, which in turn calms down the heart rate. So these are very powerful tools. This 3-part breath is really just a very simple way for you to access the benefits of a breath practice without having to have an instructor or anyone directly with you. Some of the breath practices are extremely complex and do require that you find a qualified instructor to help you learn them correctly. So coming back to the 3-part breath, if you're going to try it now with me, I recommend you sit or lay in a comfortable position. So if we're sitting, we want the knees to be lower than the pelvis. So if sitting on the ground is uncomfortable, you can make it more comfortable by taking a block. And if you don't have a yoga block, you can use a thick hardback book to sit on, or you can use a tough bolster that doesn't have a lot of give in it. So it's a nice firm bolster to sit on, or you can take a woven blanket and fold it up and place it under the pelvis. So you elevate the pelvis while you're sitting, the knees come down, and then you can sit and do your 3-part breath comfortably. You can also sit in a chair, or like I said, you can lay down on the back. So once you're laying down, you're just gonna close your eyes, helps with the focus. And then once you close your eyes, bring your awareness to your breath. So notice the breath as it flows in and out of the nostrils. Bring awareness to the breath flowing in and out of the nostrils. Feel the belly, the abdomen expand out. Inhale so that you feel the expansion, feel the lungs opening. And when you exhale, release the air and then pull the navel in at the end of your exhalation. So we're not doing our 3-part breath yet, but we're getting ready. So feeling the air coming in and out of the nostrils, and then allowing the abdomen to expand, and then pulling the belly in as you exhale. So continue with this deep belly breathing is what we're doing right now, deep belly breathing, and we're going to move into the 3-part breath shortly. For 3-part breath, it's pretty much the same as what you're doing now. The only difference is that you're going to breathe and think of the lung, once again, divided into 3 parts. So you're going to inhale into the lowest part of the lung. So pull the air deep into the lowest part. Then allow the mid lung to fill. You might feel the rib cage begin to expand outward. And then fill all the way to the top until you're comfortably full. So we don't want to overdo the inhale until you're comfortably full. Pause briefly at the top. This is the only place where there is actually a pause. And then you're going to exhale, top of the lung first, then mid lung, and then draw the belly in and up. And then once again, inhaling, lower, middle, upper, until you're comfortably full. And then slowly exhale, upper, mid, and lower lung. So continue your 3-part breath, inhaling in 3 parts and exhaling in 3 parts. If you lose your place while you're practicing 3-part breath, don't worry. Simply take a really deep belly breath in, exhale, and then on the inhale, you will start your 3-part breath again. So it's important to be persistent with your mind. The mind will wander, and we can calmly bring the mind back to our 3-part breath. Just take a big, deep belly breath, exhale, and then when you inhale, you just restart your 3-part breath. When you're getting started with your breathing, keep doing your 3-part breath as I'm talking. When you get started with these types of techniques, if you do not have previous experience with meditation or breath work or some sort of practice of this nature, you might find that the mind does wander. There's a lot going on in our brains. There's a lot of chemical reactions occurring at all times in our brains. There's a lot of different systems working in unison and sometimes not in unison within the body. And it's normal for things to come up. Physical sensations, thoughts. You might remember things that has suddenly come into your consciousness that you had forgotten. And that can be a little bit jarring to the practice. So it just matters that you keep going. So hopefully you're continuing to do your 3-part breath as I'm talking. And anytime your awareness fades away from your practice, you're going to take that deep belly breath and you're going to come back to the 3-part breath. So inhaling, lower, middle, upper, pausing, and then exhaling, upper, middle, lower, drawing the belly in as you finish the breath. So for beginners, I would recommend you sit and you practice for anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. 10 minutes is a lot for a beginner. I think 5 minutes is pretty challenging and is a good goal for beginners. These breathing techniques, they're an incredible tool to help you calm and soothe your body. So often we look for external sources of peace, external sources that will help bring us calmness, and yet we have this amazing tool that we live inside of, which is our body, and we can really learn how to maximize the positive effects that this amazing scientific machine will do for us. The breathing being paramount to our ability to relax. Once again, my name is Kelly Reagan. I hope that you have enjoyed this practice. Feel free to keep practicing now, or remember next time you have a moment, maybe you feel a little bit anxious, maybe you'll just take a few minutes and do 3 to 4 cycles. Sometimes I'll do it in my vehicle. If I have an important meeting or something that's making me nervous, I'll do a couple of cycles of 3-part breath to help me get back into it. You could also schedule a time in the morning or at night. That works for a lot of practitioners, and just make it a part of your life little by little. And the more you do it, the more you will like it. And the more that you see the benefits, the more likely you are to actually integrate it into your life as a practice. I really hope that you have enjoyed this part of this series. I have really enjoyed sharing with you, and I hope that it brings you immense benefits in your life. Namaste.
Wonderful, Kellyanne. Things seem so much more peaceful after this breathing exercise. Thank you. For more information on Kellyanne's classes, please visit facebook.com/Lake County Yoga. Are you ready to draw and color your exhale? This again is a simple art project. All you need is a piece of paper and a dark marker. It's like scribbling, but a bit more controlled. Once the design is on paper, you can use whatever medium you have to color in the design. Colored pencils, crayons, chalk, markers, watercolors, oil pastels, or what I have chosen for this recording, watercolor crayons. First, place a sheet of paper down on your drawing surface that's larger than your drawing paper. It's just to protect the table underneath. Sit up straight with a marker in your hand and take in a nice deep breath. Starting off the paper and ending off the paper, exhale deeply while drawing a line. It doesn't need to be straight. In fact, it's better to make it curve. Now, do it again. Breathe in and exhale as you draw another line. Always begin and end off the paper. Left to right, up to down, corner to corner, right to left. Draw a few lines. The reason for always beginning and ending off the paper is that you will end up with closed segments. Now, choose your colors and start to fill in the segments. I'm speeding this part up. I'm using watercolor crayons and putting 2 or 3 colors in each segment. It doesn't look like much now, but when I add water, things are going to change. Keep your breath steady and stay focused on what you're doing. It's mindfulness. Here's some music to draw by. Wasn't that simple and fun? A chill art break to catch your breath. If you want to go further with your design, You can add doodles in the segments. It's all up to you. Now share. Let's see your designs. Remember to take photos of your versions of this art project and email them to us through LCFA.BUZZ@gmail.com. Then check our website and share the page with friends. That's it. Until next time, relax, breathe, and give yourself a chill art break to calm and to focus. It feels so good to be in balance and simply chill out.